You all heard the news, shooting in the school. On behalf of the council, my office, and the community of Williams Lake, I wanted to send them best wishes. The community is all with them. If there's any way, shape and form, City of William Lake, City Council of William Lake can help them. We would be more than happy to stand with them. These activities are not acceptable in any modern society, especially in today, and it need to stop. We can blame anybody we want it. We all are in it. We all are responsible. We all had a duty to play. We all had a role to play in it. We all have to work together. Moving along, it's my honor to acknowledge that we are gathered in the William Lake First Nations Wampanoag Peoples territory. And thanks to the nation, elders, the chief, allowing us to do the business in the territory. Adoption of the agendas on the floor.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any addition, deletion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried unanimously. I usually let the community know who's in the room, who's not. Councillor Jasmine Lyon is under the weather, like most of people are, due to unseasonal weather we are seeing. So she's zooming in. And, she's not physically with us, but yes, she's with us. Minute of the regular council meeting on January 27th is in order.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Thank you. Well, we got a delegation went from Orange Shirt Society. Please, the floor is yours, ma'am.
Good evening, Kukshtacham, Sachanalia, for having us from the Orange Shirt Society. I'm going to speak briefly. My name is Venta Rutkauskas. I do work as a staff for the Orange Shirt Society, and I'm accompanied today by our ambassadors, Mike Rataskett and Cheryl Chapman. I wanted to mention the importance of Orange Shirt Day and its founding in 2013, and who better to speak to that and make the connection to the grad event than Mike and Cheryl, who've always been by Phyllis's side and have been a part of Orange Shirt Day ever since the inception. So I'm going to pass the mic to Cheryl.
I'm too short. I'm shorter than you, Vinta. Wait heute, Renjajwa Swahwal Jack went Rensquest, Hatsit to Swapam Ulu. Hello, everyone. I'm Sunrise When the Salmon Come. My borrowed name is Cheryl Chapman, and I'm from the Hatsuth First Nation Soda Creek Indian Band. And it's good to be here. Just a side note, my grandmother was born right where the red barns are, where the new Williams Lake Stampede grounds are down there. So my dirt too, and I love it. As Venta was saying, Williams Lake was the starting place for Orange Shirt Day, and Phyllis's story was the catalyst for it. When the late Honorable Murray Sinclair joined us here in the city of Williams Lake in 2013 regarding the national, the TRC. I keep using acronyms and I try and not because I'm an educator, I should know better. And they unveiled the monument at Britannia Park. And I was in the crowd, and Phyllis shared her story about her orange shirt. And I know that I was not the only one in the crowd crying. And for me, it was an opportunity to open that door and ask people to come in and join us and sit in the circle and learn about St. Joseph's Mission and the Indian residential schools across Canada and its legacy, which impacts me directly and my son. So for me, being with Phyllis from day one was a no-brainer as far as I was concerned. And her and I have been friends for a long time. And when she stepped forward and shared her story, I think she thought that was it. You know, I got brave and I actually stood up and told my story, and that's it. Well, Chief Fred Robbins said, no, we need your orange shirt as a symbol, an awareness builder for the Indian residential schools and the impacts it's had on us. So Phyllis said, well, yeah, okay. I still think she has a hard time getting up and speaking in front of people, but she's in Toronto tonight doing exactly that. So I always hold my hands up to her. And then the movement towards truth and reconciliation was launched in 2015 with the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. And for me, it was a pretty proud moment, not only because of Phyllis's story, but because it started here in Williams Lake. And I know that our council is always supportive of everything to do with Orange Shirt Day. Scott was showing off his coat, and I got the orange shirt just right on my coat, and I was like, great. So as we come to 2026, because everything started in 2013, in 2026, the graduates from all across British Columbia will have had Orange Shirt Day and the Indian Residential School curriculum in their classes from K to 12. Another momentous event that we have to celebrate. And for me, I have a hard time with celebrate still because of the impacts of the Indian Residential School, but we're celebrating the graduates, we're commemorating the curriculum. So as we move forward towards that, we have an exciting event coming up, and I noticed that you have the flyer out with you. So I ask the City of Williams Lake to once again be our champions, not only with UBCM and, you know, anybody you talk to or, you know, put out a post to, that be present yourself, come to the event on April 13th, 2026 at BC Place Stadium. We're anticipating 60,000 people. We will have a career fair, so there will be industry around the outside welcoming the students and offering them opportunities, and hopefully they don't steal too many of them from Williams Lake, because Williams Lake needs our own graduates. We will also have arts and crafts. Of course, we will be showcasing artisans from around, probably right across, so I'm not going to say just BC. And so I'm asking you to be present, be with us there on April 13th. You also have the opportunity to sponsor a grad. We have a area where you can sponsor a grad, $1,500 to $5,000. We'll get them, you know, their chaperone. I don't know if all of them need chaperones. They're getting pretty smart. Yeah. Sponsor the event itself, and certainly spread the word and encourage your friends, family, colleagues, and anyone you meet to get involved and be with us. And we're looking at being able to live stream the actual presentations as well, which will be in the afternoon. So, but we have entertainment, and it's just going to be fun. Oh no, it's going to be hard work. That's right. No, I'm going to be working. That's right. I'm not going to be having fun. So, Gukstem, thank you.
Thanks, Cheryl.
I just wanted to add a piece about the graduates. I just met with Nara Ripplinger at SD27 and would like to share that we are going to work to get high school students, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, down there. The school is supportive. We'll keep the outreach going. So we're going to reach out to business as well to create this pool of sponsor a graduate funding, and hopefully have a really simple selection process where kids are vetted. chaperones through the school, and if there are independent students, we'll figure that out as we go. And also what Cheryl forgot to mention about one of the most, I think, impactful pieces at the event is that the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's memorial cloth will be there in attendance. And for those in the know, it's just been updated. It's over 60 yards. It has every single name of children that have never returned home or were dead from the school experience. So that's a huge piece that we're very proud to have at the event as well. Questions?
Thank you, Worship, and thank you guys for coming. Big supporter. I think the whole council is big supporters of Orange Shirt Day. Myself, I actually have a couple ties. I was part of the school board in 2013 when all of it came about. So I was there from inception right through. So I'm a huge, huge supporter. And I actually have a kid who started in kindergarten that year too. So I actually have one of those graduates. Yeah, so I have multiple ties. That's why. So I have actually already personally taken the time off, booked a hotel room. So I am totally planning on, and hopefully my daughter, it wouldn't be that she wouldn't want to come. She's just she's very scholastic. So missing the school is in grade 12 is not, that'll be hard for some of the kids, I think. And just so you're aware, but I of course will, I'll be trying. And actually one more tie to it. I'll just let you know, my daughter, she probably wouldn't, she'll never watch it anyway, but her birthday is September 30th. So she used to always be so proud of like, there's a big event and now it's a holiday on her birthday. So it's quite funny, like in a funny way, but yeah, so I am planning to attend either way. Thank you. I'm super excited. Oh, and we'll do a motion. I have a motion after your worship. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the update and the presentation. And Cheryl, I can't agree with you more that this significant movement around the world is homegrown out of Williams Lake, and that story ripples throughout the entire world. And for us as a community to continue to help to tell the truth and the story by adding the global presence to it is very important. So I thank you for the update and very supportive.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, thank you so much for coming in. It's a great connection to us and then a connection to community to make sure that everybody knows that this is coming up because it is very eventful. And we should, as my colleagues have said, be like so proud to be, you know, the community where this has started and has spread so incredibly for knowledge for everyone. It's so important. As this is being presented, I was like, very excited for a moment. I'm like, I think I'm going to be in Vancouver on April 13th. But I just checked my flights. I'm flying back from Kathmandu and I arrive at 10 at night on the 13th. So my apologies. I will not be able to make it. But if I had an earlier arrival back, I was like, oh, I could be there. I could try and make it work. But I will be flying back from Nepal, unfortunately. But I'm sure there'll be great representation from Williams Lake and, you know, and all the support from its council towards the event for you guys, absolutely. So thanks for coming in.
Councillor Line?
Thank you. Yeah, just echoing my colleagues' sentiments. Williams Lake is relatively well known for several things, a stampede and everything else, but this is the one that always makes me smile the most. This is definitely the one that makes me the most proud to be like, yeah, that was a grassroots that started here, and it's just a fantastic program. And look at the change that it has inspired, which is great. The amount of knowledge and information that has come from the Orange Shirt Day is just wonderful. Thank you.
Councillor Moses?
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, thank you so much for coming in and updating us today and giving us all this history. I've heard this story several times, but each time I swear I learn a little bit more. Orange Shirt Day is a really important day that hits really close to home for me, as both of my parents attended the Kamloops Indian Residential School. I wear my orange shirt probably 3/4 of the day of the whole year. There's people who see me on the street when I'm wearing a suit or a dress shirt, and they say they don't recognize me outside of my orange shirt. I'm really excited for this event in Vancouver. I'll definitely be attending in person. This is something I'll take great pride in representing my family, representing our region, representing Orange Shirt. And I'd like to dedicate right now that I'll do some personal fundraising and get at least one of these children sponsored. So thank you for coming in.
Congratulations, Council Moses, really appreciate it. Council Delaney, you got any comment? Thank you. From me and my office, I always take the pride, anything started, and we heroed from Williams Lake, regardless of Rick Hansen, Phyllis Pepsid, or you name it. Nothing could be more important for me than the Orange Shirt Day. Every time I see these two folks, Phyllis and their Chief Robbins, I tell you, my chest goes wide and wide and wide. Sometimes I wonder how wide it's going to go. I'm so proud of them, the work they done it. And anything from the staff?
I think there's a resolution on the floor from council.
Okay, Councilor Bain, you had the resolution, please?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. I just want to really, and I know they haven't officially asked for or given us a direction other than, of course, supporting it, but I was wondering if we could ask staff to send.
Report back to council.
No, I would like staff to take this or take information, whatever is given to us from the Orange Shirts, whatever they would deem appropriate, to send as a mass email to all areas, the whole province, because we have a list of the entire province, to send that out, to make sure they have a save the date, that we make sure we spend it to every community in this province. So I'd like to make a resolution that we ask staff to distribute the information for Orange Shirt Day as appropriate to all of British Columbia.
I'm 100% with you. Councilor Nelson?
Also, as a favorable amendment, Your Worship, could we also add into that the mayor alternate be approved to go to the April the 13th, 2026 BC Place Stadium, please? Thank you.
Makes sense. Mayor Horton to be authorized to attend.
100%. Friendly amendment?
But I think, if you don't mind, sorry for interruption, I think it should be referred to the staff, let them bring us the report back. Just my personal feeling, but it's okay.
Report of what?
What do you think?
No, that's not the recommendation.
Okay.
Your worship, I'd be curious to know the report for, what are you looking for?
Whatever kind of report.
But authorization to somebody?
I think that if council's making a resolution
Okay,
for
fair enough.
somebody, mayor or alternate, be able to
Okay,
go.
fair enough.
We'll
That's
just take
good
that
enough.
we'll take that recommendation.
That's good. That's acceptable. Thank you. So the amendment is staff be asked to send the massive email to everyone to book in the date or holding the date for the celebration, and mayor or alternate be authorized to attend on behalf of the city council, city of Williams Lake. Is that okay for you guys? Moved and seconded. Any question, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And computer checks.
Recommendation that the accounts payable computer check and EFT listings dated January 29th and February 5th, 2026 be received for information.
Moved and seconded. Any question, concern on the check listing? Hearing none, all in favor? Oppose, if any, carried unanimous. License of occupation agreement.
Recommendation that pursuant to the report of the planner dated January 29th, 2026, council authorized entering into a license of occupation agreement with the Toronto Dominion Bank for an existing overhead awning sign located at Borland Street at 101 2nd Avenue North.
Moved and seconded. Council Flaschbuller.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just have a question to staff. The report's is greatly put together, and it indicates that staff says there's no obstruction with traffic, equipment, et cetera. But I was just curious about the tree. Will it be staying? Because obviously it existed with the previous awning. Is the tree going to still be there with this change? I'm hopeful it's not being removed or anything.
Mr. Maraca.
Thank you.
Thanks, Your Worship. I can't confirm that location. I don't think it'll be affected by this awning, but we are going in the process of taking down a few trees in the downtown core based on the fact of popping up concrete. So we're going to be taking out probably 4 or 5 big trees in the downtown and replacing them with smaller trees. And that's going to be an ongoing maintenance thing that we'll be doing going forward. So this location, I can't tell the size of the tree or the caliper or anything, but if it's lifting up
Well-
the sidewalk, it's coming out.
It's a linden, and I can tell by looking at the picture.
But what about the sidewalk below it?
I don't know. I can't
That's the
tell.
thing. That would be the only reason why we would take it out, is if it had something unrelated to this occupation that she might.
Right, as long as there's replacement, though.
There's
That's the thing
replacement.
that I was just
Any
wanting
tree
to make
coming out.
sure is happening, because I think this type of greenery in our downtown core is important for multiple reasons. And it's something that we definitely want to maintain as a municipality, because it just, whether it comes to the consideration for environmental impacts, but also just for the aesthetics and the shade, there's so many things that it's important for. So I just wanted to make sure that it
Yeah, I
was
think
staying.
that, I
Thank
think
you.
that in the past, the trees and the varieties that were picked were not ideal for being underneath sidewalks and closer to buildings. So basically, a lot of those are coming up with the intent that any tree we take out, we'll be putting trees back in. Okay?
By any of those trees on the sidewalk, they are corrected, and somebody complained to me the other day, and I requested the CO, so that tree, I suppose, is looked after, right in front of the Johnson Myers, when you're walking on Second Avenue. And I walk myself as a kind of, you gotta go like this, you know, be ready, right?
Your worship, I'm aware of four or five that will be coming with the shop.
Yeah, hold on, let her finish.
Yeah,
Please go on.
I'm very aware. I've spent multiple years working on all the different trees downtown. And yes, you're very limited on the ones that will live
Yeah.
in that type of environment. And unfortunately, because of that, that is why they tend to push concrete up, because they're looking for water. So and if you're too low, then it becomes an obstruction for equipment and vehicles. So it's a very challenging thing, but still very important.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Councilor Delaney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and this is totally operational, and I shouldn't be asking it, but I'm gonna do it anyways. When you take the trees out, do you guys put them somewhere else, like plant them somewhere else around town, or they just go to the dump? Oh, can somebody get them if they wanted to plant them in their yard? Not really? Are they dead when they come out?
Please, please.
Your worship, Councilor Delaney, by the time we cut up their root ball and stuff like that, there's nothing there to keep them. And usually what happens is the canopy of the tree matches the root system down below. So when we pull it out, not much left.
Hearing none, all in favor, were you gonna, okay, all in favor? Carried. Development permit number 4, 2026.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the planner dated January 27, 2026, council approved development permit number 04-2025 for GL Smith Planning and Designs, Inc. on behalf of the TDL Group Limited to permit exterior renovations and site improvements to the existing Tim Hortons location located at 1059 Highway 97 South.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Opportunity to speak. Anybody from the public wanted to speak for or against? First call, second call, anybody from public? Last and final call, anybody? Hearing none, we'll close the opportunity to speak. Recommendation been read and moved and seconded. Councilor Nelson.
I'll move the recommendation.
You moved the recommendation, and I need somebody to second. Moved and seconded. Any question, concern, Councilor Nelson?
So we've referred it from the public hearing to,
So this isn't actually, your worship, through the
Yeah,
council.
please.
This is actually a public hearing, so it's just an opportunity. Once it's closed, you're.
Under the new legislation.
okay, that's even better. In support of the application, your worship, there has been a significant amount of development along the corridor over the last 3 or 4 years. Under your leadership, from the Popeyes, the old Shell station, the redevelopment there, that was a Wendy's. We're just seeing a lot of good opportunities along that whole highway corridor. Just at the main intersection, we know we've got new chicken wings there, a little pizza place as well. Inside the Husky station, did a major redevelopment to a new co-op across the street. They did a major upgrade onto that as well. We're seeing a lot of key areas being developed. And quite frankly, the Tim Hortons location on Highway 97 needs a bit of a brush up. Everybody knows that. This is a great redevelopment for our community. You're going to see a bit of an expansion in the parking lot. You're going to see a double stacking lane taking place. You're going to see lighting. You're going to see an upgrade on the inside. You're going to see upgrade on the signage. You're going to see a new sitting area that overlooks the highway as well. It's just really a positive investment that is I think, a strong signal to that whole corridor and the investment for our community. So I'll be supporting it. I do want to thank the TDL group that is putting the money up for this. I just think it's time, and it's a good time to do it right now. And it's going to help showcase the entrance to our community with the redevelopment. I'll be supporting it.
Anybody else? From Councilor Fleischfelder, please.
Sure, Your Worship. Yeah, this is, I think the Tim Hortons has, we've been fortunate. We've had it a long time in this community. It's been there and served our community for quite some times. It's due for a facelift, and I think it's really gonna just help the visual of the Highway 97 corridor as indicated by staff. I do have a question for staff. Is there any changes to landscaping? I did see everything in the report, as Councillor Nelson has mentioned, about like there's a patio out front and stuff, but I was wondering with the changes on the parking lot, although it doesn't look like it's massively significantly different, if there was anything that was being added in. Thank you.
Mr. Muraga.
Your worship, I'll refer this to Jessica, our planner, please.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you. Councillor Fleischfelder, no, very minimal changes to the landscaping. So they're keeping their current buffering boulevard lanes, and then they do have some planters proposed
Okay.
for around their patio area.
Nice.
But
Okay.
they're fairly minimal. They're just reconfiguring the parking lot lines to
Right
meet
on.
the drive-through.
Okay, thank you so much.
Good job by the planning department, and really my heartfelt congratulations to the business owner. Like Council Nelson said, it's not leadership of the mayor and or the council. It's the leadership of our team, the city staff, the mayor and council's policies. We all work together. I'm so happy the business community is seeing a horizon, a more better opportunity for tomorrow to come. That's what makes me feel very happy. The next item would speak itself about the future of the Williams Lake, and we'll chat when we go there. All in favor? Oppose, if any, carry unanimously. Debt early redemption opportunity.
The recommendation that the report of the Chief Financial Officer dated January 28th, 2026 regarding early debt repayment option for the
Thank you,
Municipal
Jessica.
Finance Authority be received
Thank you,
and that
Mary.
council directs staff to proceed with early debt repayment.
So move.
Moved and seconded. Council Nelson.
Well, thank you very much, Your Worship. This is a significant step for this council. This council is actually, this is the second note that this council has actually paid down. And we're not talking dollars here, we're talking millions of dollars that this council has undertaken over the last 4 years in terms of infrastructure and capital expenditures, but also for debt repayment. By paying this down tonight, when we started 2026, we are about $1.9 million total debt inside the community. 10 years ago, I think it was about $16 million. So we have steadily decreased it and accelerated it, Your Worship, under your leadership to pay this debt down. We are this close to being a debt-free community, which allows us to ensure that we have sustainable operations, allows us to ensure that we have opportunities for capital expenditures, and allows us the opportunity that if we need to borrow for a water treatment plant beyond the $20 million that we got as a grant, it gives us more flexibility. So I'll be supporting the recommendation, Your Worship. I think it's the right thing to do. When this initially took place, I think at the time was about 1.5%, 1.47% that we borrowed at. It will provide significant interest savings up to about $500,000 for us as a community that we can put into operations and capital. So I think it's a smart, wise decision in these economic times to reduce your debt and your debt load and prepare for the future. By no means does this impact our capital expenditures. If anything, it gives us the opportunity and the enhancement to be a debt-free community within a year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Fleischfelder.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, for the community to kind of understand, as my colleague Councilor Nelson mentioned, when this was borrowed, it was at a 1.47% rate, and the anticipated rate coming up will be 2.85 to possibly 3.4. So it's going to be an increase, which is going to be around either, as the report states, $207,000 to $289,500 500,000 more that this municipality would have to pay. So we could be saving money by making this action. I do have a question for staff because part of the report indicated there's importance also of us having these reserves in regards to the forward movement with the water treatment plant, and that we will need, the more money that we have, the less that we'll have to borrow at that time, which is possibly going to be an even higher rate when that happens. So that's something that we have to consider. I agree with my colleague, Councillor Nelson. This is a really, really good thing to try and get done. And I thank staff for identifying this and letting us know that we have these opportunities, because you don't get them very often. But my question is, of this $1,147,158, how much investment interest are we acquiring currently right now with that funds? Because if I'm correct, we do acquire investment return from that money when we keep it. Is that correct, staff?
Mr. Maraca,
Your worship, I'll pass this off to the CFO, please.
please, CFO.
Yes, we do have an interest which is paid to us by our bank. The interest right now is low because the low payments, I think, around like below the 3%. So if they go up above 3%, we will be losing money. But we do have interest, yes, you're correct.
Okay, thanks. So significance there, but not massive. So I think myself, I'll agree with my colleague on this. I think we should take action on our known facts, not our unknown facts. We know right now that this is a debt we have. This is the debt that we can get rid of. We don't know what the future is holding with the water treatment plant, what those dollars are going to look like. So myself, I agree with my colleague. I think we should take this opportunity, because it doesn't come very often, when the rate gets reset, that we can actually put money from our reserves towards this. Thank you.
Councillor Moses.
Thank you, Your Worship. I agree with my colleagues. This is an exciting prospect for our community to be debt-free. I'm excited for both our current and our future councils to have this wiggle room to be able to work with. So I just want to give a thank you to our current leadership and staff for getting us to this point, and to our prior councils for setting this up to be possible for us at this time. So great work all around. Thank you, everyone.
Anybody else? Hearing none, I'll take a kick on the can. In a nutshell, it's a mortgage like 5 year. After 5 years, you have to go to new year mortgage. Our present rate is 1.47. If we go to renew the mortgage again on remaining debt, it would be anywhere between, circle it, 2.85 to 3.40%. Not only this council, the previous council, and above all, our team, Mr. Maraca, his team, CFO, Batali, they're so penny pincher. When I came to this city hall almost 39 months back, I was shaking my head. I knew Mr. Maraca, but I didn't know CFO's attitude or his nature. They are as good as I am. We are all a penny pincher. Now, none of us wanted to live under debt. There's nothing more important news for me to take in this community out of debt. We're not going to pay off the debt, but we're going to save anywhere up to $500,000, depend upon how much interest they set to us for the next 5 years. Once we pay this, all the debt,
700,000.
our debt would be remaining under or around $700,000. When I had some notes, I'm kind of losing, I'm so happy. Last week, I believe was it, or week before, reviewing that editorial, I request everybody to read those editorial. This council not only reduced or had a 0% tax increase last year, but we reduced 3.2% mill rate last year. My understanding from UBCM, again, I stand to be corrected. My understanding was we were the only community who did that. But Tribune did the editorial. I've spoken to the numerous people, including the editor, and they put it in the Penticton reduced the mill rate. As of today, exactly 1 minute to 4 o'clock, Penticton mayor called me. I asked him. He said, no, they increased 5.8% taxes last year. So my request to the Tribune is a humble request with the folded hand, please correct the information if you haven't. I have requested, talk to the editor very respectfully. She promised me she will do it, whatever they could do. And next time they'll make sure they don't print any information in the paper which is not relevant to William Lake. I'm so proud today. This community, we not only had a 0%, like I said last year, but we decreased 3.2%, and we paid $2.5 million our debt. It wasn't possible. It was the collaboration of the council, unity of the council, collaboration and unity with the staff, especially with under the leadership of Mr. Mraka and his team. And thank you, Mr. CFO, you too, because you all are part and parcel of all this. And then come this year, the service cost, when this council took over, was almost $828,000, if my memory serves correct. I give that information on 29th January to the Chamber of Commerce. And as we speak, till the voting take place, our debt servicing cost is under $249,000. Once we pay this debt, it's going to be left under almost say $800,000. What would be our debt cost? I don't know. Time will tell. We'll figure out. We'll find out. If I'm back, who knows what is the future for the council and the circumstances for everybody. If we are back, I'm sure this council would like to see this debt gone down sooner than later. If we don't do anything, our debt will be this community would be debt-free 2031. Am I correct, Mr. CFO? We will be debt-free 2031 without paying any further?
Yes, we cannot pay.
Okay, we cannot pay anymore. Okay, fair enough. So it's thank you to everybody. We may not have done everything you want us to do. We may not have accomplished everything you want us to do, but this council and staff have done very good working together. And we had a $21 million last year on the capital, and we spent almost $4.8 million last year. And this year we are planning almost a little over 8.9 million, or say plus and minus $9 million. A reference to my colleagues raised that the point for the water treatment plant, no question. When we applied for the water treatment plant, let me go back for a second, 2019, when this issue came, the council of the day had a $10 million cost. They couldn't do it. They was waiting for the grant, no grant. When this council took over, the first issue I was told in the management team meeting was we need a water treatment plant. This council energized me, this council working together, philosophy, we worked together. We got almost $19 million from the federal and provincial government. And our share was $6.3 million. We've been saving some money from 23 for our share. But unfortunately, when we did the estimate this year, the estimate has gone to $40 million. I have not given up. This council have not given up holding Premier and Prime Minister's feet on the fire. We're working on it, and let's hope for it. I'm not going to worry for tomorrow yet, that if I have to borrow. If I have to borrow, I'll see. I will borrow if we have to. We'll come to the community bank. As of today, if we are getting 1%, 1.5%, or 0.5%, we are paying 1.5%. It doesn't make sense to me. You don't need a brain surgeon to say that. So we will pay off the debt. Hopefully, the council will unanimously support this, and we will be very little money left to pay off. Thank you very much, and thank you to council and staff supporting, working together. Council Nelson.
Just to recap quickly, Your Worship, beginning of fiscal year 2026, $1.9 million. We're looking to pay down approximately $1.1 million, which leave about $700,000 left over. Approximately 10 years ago, we started with a $16 million debt. I can tell you there's been great, healthy debate around this table about the direction. Unanimously, we've come to the point getting to almost a debt-free community. We're within striking distance. And while we recognize the global politics taking place, we're just bracing our community for the long term, making sure that we don't have debt. And I think that's been very smart, very strategic, which will allow us to be able to move forward with our top priority, and that's a water treatment plant. Thank you, Worship.
Thank you, Council Nelson. Any more comment? Hearing none. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. CFO and Mr. Maraca, once again, please. Temporary overnight shelter.
The recommendation that the report of the Senior Bylaw Officer dated February 3rd, 2026 regarding an update on the status of the city's pre-approved temporary overnight shelter locations following 9 months of implementation be received for information.
Moved and seconded. Anybody? Council Nelson.
I don't think once I've supported the temporary overnight shelters, Your Worship, I haven't been a fan of it. I've said it's been a provincial responsibility to ensure that they provide the appropriate housing in the right locations within communities, that when they put people that don't have full wraparound services and download that problem onto communities, it creates more hardships. I'm aware that they're looking at putting in a 50 or 60 unit up on the highway for affordable housing, but that doesn't solve this problem. I'm opposed. I am against putting tents into park areas and into the RC Cotton areas and stuff. I haven't voted for it once. I continue not to support it. If you read inside the report, it very clearly and very articulately states that quite clearly we've never had to use this policy, and that our position at this point in time is that if there are tents that go up in the community and there are shelter space available, those shelter spaces are to be used and the tents are to come down. Thank you, Worship.
Council Flash-Fuller.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have things to say. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. I think we're, with the news that was presented here in the beginning of our evening, this is, a very challenging time, I think, for everyone in this province and anyone with kids. So I don't want to be too long-winded, but I just want to state, in regards to this report, thank you to staff. Thank you for all the work that you guys have done on this topic. In my opinion, when I read this, it just shows that this pre-approved temporary overnight shelter location, concept it's as a contingency option is working for us. It's working for our municipality, and we're successful on it right now. So I think that's really great because, I personally, like I've always said, not wanting to see a whole bunch of encampments or tent encampments. I think they're not good for anyone in any community. And I think what we're doing right now is really good. So I just want to thank staff for all the efforts on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody? Councilor Moses, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I agree that we need more help from our senior forms of government to make situations like this not exist, period. But for the time being, we do have laws that we need to follow, including ensuring that these sort of spaces are available if they're required. I'm not looking for our municipality to be sued because we don't follow those laws. We're doing a really good job right now of ensuring that we're following all the mandates that we're required to, and that we're trying to work with organizations that provide the services to the people in need so that our community can hopefully and potentially be a safer place than it has been over the last few years. There's still problems to work on. We recognize this, I think, as individuals and as a council. I think we're talking about in the article right after this one, so I'll hold off on speaking on those for now. Thank you, Your Worship.
Councilor Nelson.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with my colleagues, but I think we've hashed this out over the last 3.5 years. The people that need the shelters are provided. Let's be clear. Let's be honest. We got a bunch of people that are out there that are destroying our community, and we keep rolling the red carpet out for. They're not allowed. Let me repeat this again. They are not allowed in the shelters. And the reason they're not allowed in the shelters is because they don't obey to the rules. They're either drunk, they're stoned, or they don't obey to the rules, or they've got mental issues. So if they're not allowed in government-run facilities, you want to roll the red carpet out in the public? I don't understand that. That's what I don't grasp. We already know that there are 12 to 15 prolific offenders inside this community. That's going to be the next issue we're going to talk about. The individuals that are causing havoc in our community are not allowed in the shelters. They're the ones that are on the tents. That's why I give our city staff great credit, because they tear them down, they accommodate them. It's time to put your foot down and say enough is enough. We got to stop rolling out the red carpet. The report very clearly indicates these are not needed. The shelters were at never full capacity, but yet we still continue to put in these processes to allow these individuals, these so-called individuals that are the radical ones that give Roots on First a bad name. So again, I don't support this recommendation. I don't support tents in our community. The provincial government and the federal government have a responsibility to provide the wraparound services and the appropriate housing, not to download and put people that have mental illnesses and drug issues in the public parameters. This is craziness. Just, we're going to hear it in the next item, how bad it's getting, because we keep rolling the red carpet out. No to the red carpet. Thank you, Worship.
Thank you, Councilor Moses.
Thank you, Your Worship. I don't want to roll out the red carpet for anyone. What I want to do is ensure that as a municipality, we're following laws that are enforced by the province. That's what we're doing with this motion. If you want to make a new motion to break those laws, I'll gladly vote on your motion. Thank you, Your Worship.
Well,
Thank you, both
the
of
motion
you.
would be to vote against
Okay,
this and let the
we
province
will,
look after it.
We will take the call on this motion. All in favor? Oppose if any?
Actually, I had my hand up to speak as well.
Oh, sorry, my apologies, sorry, I didn't notice, Councilor Jasmine. I will cancel the vote. Councilor Jasmine Line, please.
No problem. Sorry, Mr. Mayor. No, I was actually just going to say that there was one thing there that Councillor Nelson hit the nail on the head, and that is that we have been tearing down the tents. We have been tearing down the encampments. And that's why we created this policy, because as far as I can understand, we're only really legally within our rights to tear down these encampments if we have a policy that works as an alternative if there are no beds available. This is just one of those things that's there to protect us in one of these cases. So that's why I do agree with this policy. Thanks.
Thank you. Now, anybody to comment? Hearing none, all in favor? Oppose if any?
Noted.
Councilor Nelson is opposed. Motion passed. And downtown street concern.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Director of Protective Services dated February 3rd, 2026, regarding an overview of the downtown street concerns raised by Consus Management Limited, summarizing the actions taken to date by staff and outlining ongoing work related to downtown safety, sanitization, and multi-agency coordination, be received for information.
Moved and seconded, Councilor Flashmuller.
Thank you, Your Worship. I want to thank staff and all of the agency's efforts in trying to make this good work happen of listening to community and then also trying to coordinate together to find the answers and the ways to try and deal with these issues that are impacting all businesses and all individuals in the community. So that teamwork part is amazing, and I just want to commend staff on all of this and all of the information that they're trying to gather. I am really, really looking forward to the community well-being and safety plan and when that gets implemented. I'm really hopeful that that can be very helpful for our community so that we can start making some good forward movements on that collaboration and teamwork in supporting businesses that have concerns and making sure that we are helping to the best of our ability. Thanks.
Councilor Nelson.
Before I say anything, Your Worship, I'll just ask maybe the CEO can give us an update in terms of really what's happened in the downtown core over the last 10 days. And then we can talk perspective of why we're going to make some recommendations tonight.
Please, Mr. CEO.
Your Worship, to Councilor Nelson, like with downtown street disorder?
Yeah.
Some of the issues that have come in for the RCMP and stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, I might miss some things here, but I'll ask Evan and Sylvia to help me if I do. Things that come to mind and that I know of is there have been 2 vehicles stolen in the last little while. One from a dealership and one that was thrashed into the dairy fields. There's been broken glass busted into at the mountain bike shop downtown, as well as Hub Insurance. They've had broken windows there. We've had fires in the downtown core, like as Evan likes to call them, hand warming fires and stuff like that, like in front of Councillor Lyons' business. We've had vandalism to our washrooms, our porta potties that we've stuck out there. I do know that the operator of the Roots has had their back vents cut, and people trying to get in to do some like just to enter were not invited. I know that that's happened. I think they've repaired that. I know that there has been constant fires behind Kit and Caboodle, like in that back lane in that area. And I know that there's been Integra Tire has had many windows busted in vehicles, basically breaking into the vehicles, as well as there's another Loyalty Auto Works, I think there is, down there that they've had considerable damage with people busting into their vehicles, all in that immediate area. I know that our complex was somebody attempted to bust into our complex. They cut open the barricades on there and tried to go in through the side window, getting into our complex. And yeah, that's basically it from the top of my head.
More than enough?
Yeah, I think that's
More than enough?
I'd like to, do you have anything that you could think of? No, those are the things that come to mind in the last little while for me.
Councillor Nelson back.
Well, it's a hell zone. Let's be honest. And I have to give the CEO a little bit of credit because he said as a cold goes away and it starts to warm up, it's going to get crazier, and it's gotten crazier out there. I first just want to apologize to the community and thank the business owners in the downtown core that have been strong. These are issues that have just occurred in the last 10 days to 2 weeks. You know, our fire department had record calls for the last month. And you know, when we look at these types of issues that occur, we recognize clearly that we know where the problem lies. And I'll tell you exactly. We have asked for it. This council has pecker-tracked down to a T the core problems. But yet there's been very little action on behalf of the courts and on behalf of the provincial government. Don't blame the cops, because the cops keep catching these guys. We put additional resources in. Last year we put $100,000 in. We increased our bylaws. We increased the policing costs. We put all these things into place. So these things come in waves. There was one guy 8 days ago that was downtown, 7 o'clock, wailing a knife, running down the street, scaring people. One of the other issues that occurred within the last 2 weeks was the banks. One of the bank tellers went in, 5:30 in the morning. They busted the lock off to get into the ATM machine. There was 5 guys in there, hired in Georgia Pines, 2 shopping carts, propane tank, and a heater. That's the 10th time they've done it. And we wonder why our ATM machines we can't get access to. Folks, this is not normal. And as tough it is to talk about it and to put policies in place to try and create a change, there are some people out there that need that extra helping hand that should not be on the streets. And that's just a sense of reality. We can't help everybody on the streets. They need to be taken off the streets for public safety reasons. And that's the bottom line. The guy that was running down the street the other day, flailing a knife around, scared 2 people that didn't want to go back to work. This is downtown Williams Lake. Delaney's, the Lock and Key place, one of the iconic places in our community, who carries a knapsack with bolt cutters in the back at 4 o'clock in the morning? These are not people that are going to the shelter, folks. These are the very people we talk about that are the prolific offenders that are doing damage. While everybody in this community is trying to work hard to ensure that they can go to work and make $1, and in these tough times stay ahead of the time, you got business owners that are concerned and scared. So I support the recommendations, but I think we need to go further. I think we need to honestly ask ourselves, and this council has taken positions, why are these prolific offenders still out there without GPS? There is 0 in town right now. 0. And we've got a program. Costs us millions of dollars a year. But the courts continue to let the prolific offenders get rearrested, and put back out onto the streets. These are the same guys that are causing these problems. And if you take your glasses off, we know that for a fact that they're going down to the new shelter that we put in. It's a drug haven down there. We need to put additional reinforcements down there. We need to support our downtown while it's alive and kicking. So I support the recommendations. I think we need to go further, Your Worship. I'm just going to read you some stats off today that just came out publicly. It's called SOS Streets. As a matter of fact, Jess Ketchum, he's from Quesnel, just used to be involved with West Fraser. Came out today, 73% say crime and violence is impacting their quality of life. Jess Ketchum, co-founder of SOS, who is from Quesnel. What we're seeing is residents of their community continuing to be victimized, stores having their windows smashed, other stores closing, and the rights of the repeat offenders being placed over the rights to go outside their home and not feel for their safety. The survey also showed a 71% lack of confidence in the justice system. We've identified these. We've gone back to it. So I think we need to do 3 additional things. 1, we need to ensure that we put a higher degree of police presence in the downtown core immediately. 2, I think what we need to do is we need to go back on record again and ask that prolific offenders be forced to wear GPS in the city of Williams Lake. If you're a prolific offender, she's GPS time, slap that puppy on, we're going to track you 24/7 wherever you're at. And I think the third thing, Your Worship, is that we need to ensure that there is a dialogue between the BIA, the Chamber of Commerce, the City of Williams Lake, the RCMP, and Interior Health. And a dialogue that's going to bring a resolution, and a positive resolution, of a stronger enforcement. Because the city is doing one thing, the BIA is doing another, Interior Health is sitting off in Luli land. I'm just going to go back to that for a second. A year ago, I'll never forget as long as I live, we sat here after we came. I don't even want to get into that. It's going to get me off subject. So those, I would add those 3 recommendations, Ross, I think are paramount at this point in time for action-oriented opportunities. And I'd ask the CEO, do those recommendations make sense in being able to pull everybody together?
Mr. CEO.
Your Worship, Councilor Nelson, so you're requesting we set up a meeting with those agencies to have them come in for a discussion on how to coordinate and basically put some hard short-term fixes on what's happening.
I'm not long-term, I'm very short. Okay. I just want to make sure we're all singing on the same song sheet. Everybody's working hard, but collectively, I think we need to be working tighter together.
I don't know if you've seen your email. Email came pretty close to.
Your Worship, I think that this would be a good opportunity, sorry to interrupt, but bring Sylvia up, the Safety and
Okay,
Wellbeing
please,
Coordinator.
please,
And
yeah.
she can explain about the meeting
I will
that's gonna be
appreciate,
happening.
yeah, there's a meeting happening, yeah. Could you please?
And as well, give us an update on the safety and well-being and that it's in for review
Appreciate
in
it.
draft format.
Gotcha. Sorry, folks, I got a speaker list, but I'll put you on hold, please.
I can wait till everybody.
No, staff always goes before anybody.
Okay. I hear you clearly. And so do so many of the hardworking agencies in our community who are tirelessly working with individuals who want their support and also tired of individuals who don't want their support and their help. We do have a meeting set, RCMP, Downtown Business, Chamber of Commerce, Interior Health is an interesting option, and they're more than welcome. So we have an open house next Wednesday.
Perfect.
From 6 till 7:30. The last open house that we held it in the mornings from 8 till 10. And I think that was really hard for business owners and for individuals to come. So when Brad and I met this time, we decided we should do it in the evenings, and then people would be able to come. The invitation went out late yesterday. I talked to Tamara at Chamber of Commerce. She said she already had 20 responses, which is fantastic, because last time it was held in October, and we had about 10 people there, but it was way less than we'd expected. You know, Brad and I were like, okay, here's an opportunity. Come and vent at us. Come and tell us some things. Come and problem solve with us. So that meeting is happening. I will, yeah. It's at the fire hall. Yes. We chose the fire hall intentionally because we feel like, and this could be our own bias, mine and Brad's, but we didn't want it at City Hall because it's not directly a city issue. And we're looking for it to be kind of like a community meeting, and the fire hall is neutral. It's a neutral place to come and just talk about some things in the evenings. Chamber of Commerce, as you know, presented a motion, a policy to have a look at prolific offenders. That is also one of our focus groups when the Wellbeing and Safety Plan gets put together. There are, I think, 17 other agencies who are backing the Chamber of Commerce in that request, because as many focus groups as we put together, we need provincial and federal support to move forward, because none of our focus groups are going to set up a place where we can put individuals who are not detoxing yet. Set up a place where we can put individuals who we know are on the street, because, like Councillor Nelson mentioned, we have to also keep those individuals and routes on First safe. So we can't let everybody in there who is not going to abide by the rules. So we do have those prolific offenders out there. I know that Sergeant McKinnon is going to speak on the 24th as well, but he does have several plans in place that he's looking to put forward. I'm not going to talk about that here because those are his things to do, but do know that he is working on a lot of different processes, and they are immediate. They're not that long term. You'll see in the Wellbeing and Safety Plan there are some upstream things that we need to do as well, but we are looking at quicker actions, at things we can do immediately, but it takes human resources and money to move things forward. So a lot of our focus groups are saying, we need help. We need help from the province. And we're going to need support from council, but I do know that support is here. And I do hear your frustration, and I don't take it personally. And none of the committees are looking at councillors saying they're not understanding. We are working really hard behind the scenes. I don't know if you know, Interior Health just opened Gateway as a 6-bed detox. So individuals can now go there up to a 10-day stay, which is pretty new in our province. In Williams Lake, yep, our Gateway has just reopened. They have the psych nurses available, and they've actually, I think it's a first. Katie's looking into that, but there are I don't think there's any other communities that are using a virtual doctor to actually do prescriptions when individuals come into detox, because we no longer have an actual physician who works with our drug and alcohol. Dr. Engelbrecht is here, but he's here only, I think, every 6 weeks for 10 days or so. But now we have the ability for someone to actually go into our detox and get the medication they need before they go to a bed. So that just came out last Friday.
I hope, sorry for interruption, I hope Member of Parliament and MLA is invited in the list. They may not be able to come, but we should invite them because it's upper level government's issue more. I mean, it's our issue too, but they're responsible. I would like to see them being present or send somebody.
At the open house?
Yes, please.
So I'm just going to give you the advocate to that. Last time, well, Lauren Dirksen came and he's very friendly in our community, but it does change the atmosphere when a business person is there and wants to be candid with someone who he knows who's on his team, like Chad and Brad, right? Like our RCMP officers, when we have MLAs and political members there, I don't feel like people speak as freely, and I really think our business owners need to just come, and maybe they just need to vent, maybe they have solutions, they just need to be heard. They need to have that ability to talk to our RCMP. So I'm not saying no, I'm just giving you my opinion on that.
Mr. Maraca.
Your Worship, I know that Sylvia's not saying no, but I would recommend no for this. I think that for the open house, I agree with everything she's saying. I think that if there was anything, you would invite the MLA and the MP to the meeting with Interior Health and the other groups once we get some feedback from the RCMP and Sylvia's group and the thing, and they'll provide us back a synopsis or a report back of what the results were from that. And you can take that to Councillor Nelson's suggestion about bringing the larger group that would include the MP and the MLA. I think that's more of a place for them, because I would agree 100%, learns the best, but I would just basically be more concerned with people not saying anything in that kind of forum, and that's not what this is for. This is on the ground issues, bring it forward to council so we can discuss, and then discuss it when we are in a bigger area.
Fair enough. Anything else from any questions, Sylvia? Keep it short, please. We are spending too much time on one item.
Like, when I say this, I'm serious. I'm still not opposed to a curfew in the downtown core. Like when you've got, and I actually feel sorry, I'll say it publicly, I feel sorry for a number of these nonprofit agencies that are having to deal with this. I've talked to a number of the staff, and you think that we're frustrated. They're 10 times more frustrated because the very people that they're trying to protect keep stabbing them in the back. And so they're trying to say, hey, look, you can't stay in here because you got bigger problems. You need bigger help. And that help is not there right now. That's the problem. So when I talk curfew, I don't know what a guy's doing downtown. Well, I can tell you what he's doing downtown at 5 o'clock in the morning carrying a backpack with bolt cutters. Those are the types of things that we have to have a serious look at. And if it comes to a potential curfew in the downtown core, so be it. If we can't get the province and the courts to start to help us out and agree to the GPS and these types of things, when we can track these individuals that we know that are doing damage, we're not talking the kid that steals a chocolate bar. We're talking prolific offenders, guys who got 200 and 300 charges that are in and out of the court system that shouldn't be on the streets. So a curfew should be one of the options that we look at in the downtown core. If you're in the downtown core and you're not working and you're muddling around, you're carrying backpacks and you got your face all covered, we know that you're a bit of a troublemaker.
Any question to Sylvia, please?
So Sylvia, I guess the question is that is the group going to be looking at, and maybe a question that should go to Gary, is that one of the options we should be kind of looking to entertain as a potential opportunity with the RCMP as a potential curfew? I would ask you that question to you.
Okay, we have debated curfew several times.
Okay.
The hard part about a curfew is those that are already breaking the rules continue to break the rule, and a lot of our RCMP officers are then, it's just a catch and release again. And I think you understand the game, right? So I don't know what, a curfew has to come with consequences that RCMP can then enforce.
That's the key right there.
Mr. Maraca.
Yeah,
I'm coming to you.
yeah, I
We're
think
getting out of it.
just, yeah, no, I think that part of this is that there, did you?
No, let him finish. You go ahead.
Sorry. So I think that when we talk about the meeting with the RCMP and the BIA and stuff like that, the RCMP and be able to do what RCMP people do, they're going to come back with some suggestions and stuff like that that will, and I'm sure curfew would be discussed, but they'll probably look at doing some sort of street disruption program where they go down hard and heavy and basically just say, we're going down and basically tipping bags, tipping all this stuff, taking stuff away, and less about patrolling all night, more about not knowing when they're coming around the corner to do it, and then people just stay away from those areas. So they'll come up with suggestions, what they have to do, and then that group will bring back forward something through a recommendation to staff and to council, and we can have that conversation at that point. I think one of the things that I did forget when Councilor Nelson asked me earlier, when he talked about the person, the individual, and this is the frustrating part for the community that I hear, is that there's an individual, and it's the second time, downtown with a knife in his hand, going around and threatening people and stuff like that. The RCP arrested him, took him to the hospital, and the hospital, because we don't have the psychologists and stuff like that in our area, pumped him up with antipsychosis drugs and sent them back on the street and said, now we just monitor him to make, because we think he'll be fine. And that's the stuff that I think the community is really concerned about, because that's the area that everybody's concerned about, because it's now like, okay, let's hope for the best out there when we know there's a history with that. So I forgot that one when you mentioned it, Councilor Nelson.
And I do know in that situation, I think we're talking about the same one. The RCMP actually took it a step further with Interior Health, and they transported the individual to Kamloops who did have a partial assessment. They couldn't do a full assessment because of different drugs and alcohol in his system, but he was returned back to community because this is a community that he's currently residing in.
Thank you, Sylvia. Keep up the good work and stay tuned. And
Thanks,
keep-
Sylvia.
Yeah, we'll keep working. Councilor Flashfuller and Councilor Delaney, please.
Oh my, I just want to be short. This is just getting
Sorry, I know.
out of hand. I'm
know.
sorry. Thank you. This report is to be received for information of all the awesome work you guys are doing, staff is doing, community is trying to do. And I just want to commend you guys for that. Number one. Number two, I went to 100 Mile like a couple weekends ago. They had to buzz me into a business so I could go and shop. Okay, it's not only our town, just like my colleague mentioned, Quinnell. This is all over. And yes, and I would really like affirmation from Fire that we had record-breaking fires last month. Is that true? Or is that just, where's that coming from?
Sorry, it was a post they put out today. It was record-breaking calls they did, not fires.
Chief, please.
Please and thank you.
No, I actually have to contact the radio station to confirm that because they made it seem like that. But even in their own article, it showed that we had less this January than in the previous January.
Okay, perfect. So that's not true. And and from reading some of the previous reports when there's been advocating from this council and previous councils about GPS, and I look at the information that comes back, they're like, you can't do GPS if they don't have a home. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe that's a conversation that needs to be had. But I believe when the court system deals with it, they said, if there's no home for them, how can we monitor them? You can't do a curfew and tell everybody you can't be downtown. It's not reasonable. We live in Canada. I just don't understand how that would function. So thank you, staff, for everything that you're doing and for the community and the agencies in trying to make these challenging times better. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor Flashfuller, for your patience. Councilor Delaney. Thank you. Hearing none, and nobody else on the speaker list. All in favor of the report?
So, Your Worship, I did add 3 recommendations on. to
Okay,
that.
is it okay with the mover and seconder? Who was the mover and seconder? Okay,
So, Your Worship, you could separate them out, or you could treat it as an amendment either way. Yeah.
okay, let's treat amendment separately, okay? Motion as we received it. In the report, all in favor? Oppose if any? Councilor Nelson.
Ross, other recommendations.
Your Worship, wouldn't Councillor Nelson be the one who would have to say he'd separate them out, though?
Sorry,
I don't know.
there was a motion moved and seconded, and that
Already
was that.
moved
So
and
it was just
seconded.
whether or not it was going to be an amendment to that, or a friendly amendment. It didn't look like it was going to be friendly, so we moved out.
Is
So
it friendly? Wonderful.
the recommendation from Councillor Nelson, which was that we get higher police presence immediately in the downtown, reiterate council's request that prolific offenders wear GPS, and that a dialogue be begun between the RCMP, IHA, BIA, Chamber, and the city to coordinate and put forward short-term solutions to get results.
It's basically the 3.
Looking for a seconder for his report so we can discuss further. I'll second it for the sake of discussion because there's nothing new in the report. We have done in numerous times these recommendations and send it to the provincial government and federal government. I don't see anything new we are trying to do.
Appreciate
We
the
have
update.
we have a reported to the RCMP, to the Premier 2 weeks back, along with the CEO and Councillor Bain, when we were there. We gave him all our extra costs downloading, and we did 100,000 last year, 100,000 this year again. It's the cost to double him up. We have given him all our costs in the detail. So I was waiting, and the last Friday, we sent another email or letter to the Premier's office, and we haven't heard any response yet. We are following, and let's see what happened. I gave almost $22 million listed to the Premier when we met him at Prince George. So, Councilor Flashfuller, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I don't feel I need to vote on this because these things are already happening from everything that I'm reading in this report and from what staff has been indicating. So the only thing different with that recommendation is the GPS. And I myself believe that from stuff that I've researched, I would like to have more information before I vote on that. I don't believe that it's effective
Fair
when it's
enough.
an individual that has no home.
Okay, anybody else? Yep, Councillor Moses.
Thank you, Your Worship. We just received a great report from staff where they really have been going the extra mile, working with local agencies and with the RCMP to come up with ideas on how to improve on these topics for the safety of our community. These challenges require new solutions found by our organizations working together and collaborating. These reports show that that's already exactly what's happening. Some of these motions we've already had before, or very similar ones, and we voted against them then, and I'll be voting against them again tonight.
No problem.
Thank you, Your Worship.
No problem. Anybody else? All in favor?
Just one sec, Your Worship.
Yeah. Are you going to speak to it again?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to read the recommendation out that this council adopted on December the 6th, 2022. That pursuant to the report of Councillor Nelson, Council received the information and sent a letter to the Honourable Murray Rankin, Attorney General and Minister responsible for housing, thanking him for his directive to identify and implement amendments to the BC Prosecution Service Bail, adults only. Issue pursuant to Section 6 of the Crown Council Act, and further, the Council requests the Attorney General to encourage the BC Prosecution Service to utilize electronic monitoring on prolific offenders that are released in the community on bail conditions. So this council is on record. So let me remind my colleagues that want to oppose this tonight, as a reminder to the province and to the judges, I want to be on record again. We were asked, I asked the CEO, how many prolific offenders are on GPS in the city of Williams Lake right now? Big fat zero. This is a multi-million-dollar program. It is being underutilized. We heard tonight that part of our problem is the prolific offenders. So if you don't want to track them, you might as well throw the keys to the jail to them and let them just continue to wander around the streets. We need to get on top of this issue. So that is the reason, as another reinforcement, this will be the second time that this council has said how important it is to have GPS. We're on record once. We're going to ask again. That's why it's a positive reinforcement. We know we have prolific offenders that are causing havoc in the downtown core. If you don't send a nice, polite reminder to the province and to the court system again, you might as well give up. And I'm not giving up. That's why the recommendation is back on the table. This council is on record, I agree. But we're obviously not being heard loud enough. And so the crime wave is coming back in a wave again. So I'd rather have it back on the record. Thank you, Worship.
Thank you. Councillor Wayne, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. And I just have to agree. Why are we letting people out if they don't have somewhere to live? Like if you're a criminal, like the reason to have the what we'd like to see, those ankle bracelets, is
GPS.
if you're supposed to be, GPS ankle bracelet, if you're supposed to be being monitored, how do you come out without a home and be monitored? I don't get it. I don't understand how you can check for curfews. I don't understand, unless, to me, you should have somewhere to stay or someone that agrees to, there should be a halfway house or somewhere they're supposed to be. Then the government, I'm in full agreement with Councillor Nelson. This is ludicrous. We have been, I think the whole time I've been in town, but also been on council, we have repeatedly asked for more for repeat offenders, and this has been ignored. So I have a hard time with the whole system in general, and I think, they constantly tell us it's being revised, and I just have a hard time believing them. So I also believe that we need to be monitoring people in GPS and whatever, if they're wandering around town, at least there's things like they're not supposed to be with someone else. Sometimes there's conditions where you're just not supposed to be around someone. And if they both have monitors, then maybe they can actually see that. And I know they talk about someone needing to watch that, but I'd rather hire that person's salary for, they should be able to watch people around the province. It shouldn't take that many. Anyway, I also agree we need to be using more GPS. We need to be using so many more other something at least, and have places for these people to be.
Thank you. Mr. Maraca.
Your Worship, Councillor Boehm, for numerous years now, the senior levels of government, specifically the federal government with bail conditions, they want to make sure that the least onerous conditions are put on anybody that actually, after they get arrested, to release them back into the public. And I mean, I think everybody would agree with the fact that we have a known individual in this community that basically is known to be stealing things all over Williams Lake, who was arrested stealing a vehicle from the Williams Lake pool, thrown in Prince George jail, and released back into community after 1 week in Prince George. And that's the sort of things that are being dealt with right now. And unfortunately, we hear about bail reform. We heard of UBCM. We heard about bail reform. We heard about all these things, but slow process, I guess, because people are continually getting released, not only without GPS, Councillor Nelson, or any kind of monitoring. It's like they go back to your community.
That's it.
Okay, hearing none. All in favor of the motion on the floor? Against? Motion carried.
Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you,
Councillor
members
Moses.
and colleagues.
The only one against it. Public Works, changes to the FireSmart community funding.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Director of Protective Services dated January 28th, 2026, Council advocate to the Union of BC Municipalities, the Premier, the Minister of Forests, and local MLAs regarding the significant impacts of the recent changes to the FireSmart community funding and supports program, requesting the restoration of stable multi-year wildfire risk reduction funding, the reinstatement of fuel management eligibility, and continued predictable support for FireSmart positions and community wildfire resiliency plan implementation.
Second.
Moved and seconded. By the way, excellent report, Chief. Really appreciate it. Just for council's information, we had a lot of money, and the money been cut back. I believe it's about $26 million only left till April. And last week we had the meeting at the Regional District Board, and they passed a similar resolution to write a letter to the Premier, UBCM, and the Forest Minister, and the local MLAs and everybody. So if there's any question, Chief is here, we can ask him. Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Thank you, Chief. Let's go. Easy.
Oh, no, there's no more.
Oh, we got more yet. Okay, yes. Yeah, 4 half-ton pickup.
Recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Procurement and Asset Management Coordinator dated January 30th, 2026, Council award the request for proposal for the purchase of 4 half-ton, 4-door quad cab 4x4 pickup truck vehicles to Buick Chevrolet Buick Cadillac GMC Limited for the purchase price of $300,821.37, including all applicable taxes, and authorize staff to use the remaining budgeted funds to purchase a dump box insert at an estimated cost of $10,000.
Moved and seconded. Any question, concern? Hearing none, all in favor? Oppose, if any? Carried unanimously. 1 4-cylinder SUV.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Procurement and Asset Management Coordinator dated January 30th, 2026, Council award the request for proposal for the purchase of one 2026 4-cylinder SUV MPV crossover vehicle to Buick Chevrolet Buick Cadillac GMC Limited for the purchase price of $42,144.29, including all applicable taxes.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Who seconded? Councilor Boehm. Thank you. Any question, concern? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Remedial action.
That pursuant to the report of the Director of Protective Services dated January 29th, 2026, Council resolved to impose remedial action requirements for 55 6th Avenue South of Williams Lake as included in Appendix A of the report.
No.
Can you read the whole
I was going to say, don't read the whole thing.
I printed off just,
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Moved and seconded. Anybody to speak on this item? I went to look at the property yesterday. It's not a very good looking, but if anybody wanted, you should go drive around and take a look at the property, please. Anything from the staff on this issue?
No, I think, Your Worship, the report speaks for itself. It was very well written by our
Excellent
fire
report.
staff, and I think it gives a clear direction of where we're at and the estimated costs. And we have a burnt down building in the downtown core that we are not receiving any kind of satisfactory compliance with a property owner, and that's what these RARs are for.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Nelson.
Thanks to the staff. This is a very good report. I support the recommendations. It's a hazard. I was there today, looked at it again. As a matter of fact, you got crap blowing all over the place. It's going to the neighbor's yard. It's just a mess. This is the in behind the old Hamilton Inn, the place that burnt down over a year ago. There has been repeated requests to have this cleaned up. I remember when the fire department was there and put it out, it's been fenced and the same stuff is on the ground in the same location. It is just a disaster. And quite frankly, it's a key location in our community, and I support the neighbor's request to get it cleaned up and get it done. He's got 90 days, and if not, we're going to go in, we're going to clean it up and put it on his taxes. It's that simple. Like, we're not fooling around. It's a key area in town, and it's a hazard. Bottom line. And quite frankly, it's a pig pen. So I support the recommendation that the staff are bringing forward, and I'll be fully supporting it.
Okay, hearing none, all in favor? Oppose, if any? Carried unanimously. Indoor Turf Facility Working Group.
The committee recommendation that pursuant to the Central Cariboo Joint Committee Report number 1, 2026, the City of Williams Lake and CRD staff bring forward to the next Central Cariboo Joint Committee a proposal for the makeup of a working group for the development of an indoor multi-use facility.
So move the recommendation.
Move the recommendation, seconded. Council, sorry, go ahead, Mr. Bracken.
No, you go ahead first.
No, I'm going to keep the principle I had.
Okay, sorry, thanks, Your Worship. The one thing I want to say on this is because I wasn't at the joint meeting, and I think this was a recommendation that came from City Council, was as we go forward in this process, aside from having a start of this process, we will not be doing this off the side of our desk. This will be procured. So any kind of conversations with the regional district, they have to know that they're paying a bill for a consultant, no different than we would be doing with the OCP or anything else. It's a multi-million-dollar facility, and we don't have staff sitting at their desks waiting to do a public consultation and contract and all this sort of stuff. So once we take it as far as we can, this will be a cost to the regional district and the City of Williams Lake, and as you would expect from something of this scale.
Thank you. All I was going to say is that it's been long overdue. People have worked on this time to time and has never gone this far as it did this time. And I wanted to personally thank to the area director, D, E, and F, and other people involved with it. And now the regional district board has approved it because it's a recommendation from the joint. It has to go to the both bodies. Once it's done, and report will come to the joint, I believe, next week. And after the next week joint report will go to the respective bodies again, and we will make the decision. Sometimes these reports go before it come to council, go to the CRD board, or sometimes it's vice versa. It depends who's meeting ahead of time. To me, it's a step in the right direction. And like I said earlier, it's a long overdue. And I'm going to support it 100%. Anybody else? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. Approval of property artwork, proposed artwork, please.
The committee recommendation that pursuant to the Central Cariboo Joint Committee Report number 2, 2026, will be granted to place the described artwork created by Montana Russell in her presentation on a wall in the West Fraser Aquatic Center lobby.
Second.
Moved and seconded again. Another item was approved by the board last week. Anything? Hearing none, all in favor? Oppose, if any? Carried unanimously. Joint use facility agreement.
The committee recommendation that pursuant to the Central Cariboo Joint Committee Report number 3, 2026, staff report back to the February Central Cariboo Joint Committee regarding the Joint Use Facilities Agreement.
Second.
Moved and seconded again, and there's another item approved by the board. Everything was approved by the board last week. All in favor? Carried unanimously. And the next one is Committee of the Whole Council Report. Rise Society, please.
The committee recommendation that pursuant to the Committee of the Whole Council Report number 3, 2026, the presentation from Darren Van Ness and Greg Jeanette, Rise Society be received and a letter of support be provided to Rise Society. And further, that the city requests local First Nations and the Cariboo Regional District via the Central Cariboo Joint Committee and the Interior Health Authority to also provide letters of support to the society.
Move it. Second.
Yeah, I moved it, and as per the staff is concerned, it aligned with our policies and our issues in the community. This is the community by the local people. People went through the system, and they wanted to have some service available for the people who cannot go anywhere, have no place to go. So all we are providing is letter of support for their cost. That's it, as long as everybody knows. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Permissive tax exemption late request.
The committee recommendation that the Committee of the Whole Council Report number 5, 2026, and the report of the Chief Financial Officer dated January 14th, 2026 be received, and the council maintain its direction to not consider late permissive tax applications.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Against? Motion carried. Council Nelson, myself, and Council Moses. New recognition program policy number 235.
Committee recommendation that pursuant to the Committee Report number 5, 2026, and the report of Deputy Corporate Officer dated January 15th, 2026, Council approved the new City of Williams Lake Recognition Program Policy number 235 and repeal Council policies number 32 and 215, and further that policy number 235 be brought back to the Committee of the Whole Council for review in February 2027 following its first year of implementation.
So second.
Moved and seconded. Any question, concern? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. Minute of the Central Cariboo Joint.
The recommendation that the minutes of the Central Cariboo Joint Committee meeting held January 28th, 2026 be received.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any addition, deletion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Appointment of CRD representative to the NCLGA.
Clerks note that the letter from the Cariboo Regional District dated February 2nd, 2026, advising of the nomination period for appointments of the Regional District representatives to the NCLGA Executive Board be received.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Anybody had any question, concern? Board have appointed the people, and director is doing a hell of a good job. I have no issue with the person. And Director Debris is the representative. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And next item, BC Farmer Market.
Clerks note that the letter from the BC Farmers Market dated February 2nd, 2026, outlining the impact of BC Farmers Market Nutrition Coupon Program in 2025 be received, and that Council provide a letter of thank you to the Minister of Health to encourage continued support of their Farmers Market Nutrition Coupon Program in our community.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any question, concern? Hearing none. All in favor? Opposed, if any? Carried unanimously. Proclamation, Purple Day.
Clerks note that pursuant to the request of the BC Epilepsy dated January 28th, 2026, March 26, 2026 be proclaimed as Purple Day in the City of Williams Lake pursuant to city policy.
Moved and seconded. Who seconded? Okay, Councilor Moses. Any question, concern? Hearing none. All in favor? Carried. City Hall lighting request.
Clerks note that pursuant to the request of Results Canada in their letter dated January 29th, 2026, the lights of City Hall be changed to red on March 24th, 2026 for World Tuberculosis Day.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any question, concern? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried unanimously. Information package.
That the Council Information Package of February 10th be received for information.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Carried unanimously. And the round table, Councillor Jasmine Lyon.
Nothing for me, thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Bain.
I'm good, Your Worship. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Moses.
Thank you, Your Worship. Over the last week or so, I was fortunate enough to attend a few events. First one was the Hatsuth Wellness Gathering, which was a First Nations wellness event. It was spectacularly run right out of our Gibraltar room. I was so proud to see such a well-run First Nations event inside of right in the middle of our city, right in like the heart of our community. Seeing that collaboration was a beautiful sight. I also got to go to Williams Lake for Humanity's Film Club event where we watched The Voice of Hind Rajab. Your worship was there as well. I believe he hasn't missed any of these events to date. He's got to every single one of them. On another note, our friends and past presidents of UBCM, Arjun Singh and Brian Frankel, have started a podcast called Day-to-Day Democracy, where they go over the realities of being on local government. So make sure to check that out if you have time. It's pretty eye-opening, and I think that we all have some understanding of what they talk about there now. And Winter Olympics just started. Go Team Canada.
Thank you.
Worship.
Councillor Nelson.
Just wanted to recognize Stay Well Health Foods and their redoing, redevelopment of that entire location, double the expansion. I was in there today, Your Worship. The grand opening is this Friday. It's amazing. It's in the downtown core, and great credit to them. You're going to be shocked how big it is and the massive new selection that they've got. So congratulations to Stay Well Health Foods. Thank you. This Friday, grand opening, the 13th. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Delaney. Councillor Flashwaller. Well, I got a few things. Like we said on February 18th, the next Wednesday, 6 to 7:30, there's open house. I would request respectfully all the business owner come and speak and listen to the detachment commander. I had a meeting along with the staff with the TRU vice chancellor and the president of the day, which was pretty rewarding. And looking forward to Chamber of Commerce meeting, I did the update where I missed my colleague, good friend, Councillor Bain. And she's always there, but that I was alone. Power, the Kolmniza was fantastic. I attended along with my other council colleague, Councillor Bain again. Had a CRD board meeting, and I was listening and watching Councillor Nelson, the grand opening. The grand opening, we work very hard. Coffee on the fly at the airport is happening. I would love to see you guys all. If you could be there on Friday. I know some people have a restriction due to work schedule or other time. But if anybody need a ride, let me know. And we should be there 11 o'clock. And long weekend coming for a family day, please spend the time with your family. It's a very important. Nothing is more important to your family. And I also had the chance to visit the two conservative hopeful leadership candidates in Williams Lake, listen to them, and one of them got under the weather. He never came out, so but he did call me. So I'm trying to make the appearance and represent the community much as I can. And thanks to the Firemen Association camping on the roof last weekend, that was pretty good one. And yeah, you was there. That's good. Thank you. Nobody called me. I had authorization to take the pizza, but they missed that chance. So my boss was wondering what happened with the receipt. I said, well, I save all the money. So, and that's how penny pincher we are. If nobody asks me, I don't go. Don't spend the money. People call me. I have no issue. People send me a little tiny request. Respect, I have no issue. But my guy on my left had issue. I call him my right-hand man. And I totally agree with this theory. He said, you're wasting your time and you're wasting my time for the little issue. Why don't the people go on the web page? There's a phone number, there's a complaint section, and it's a regularly watch. You can put your complaint there and address it possibly faster than you complain to me. You can call me anytime, there's no problem. But since last night, you won't be able to call me anytime. A prime example was Councillor Flashwaller messaged me this morning. Usually I was bang on message you back. My phone been taken away from me by the big boss, the home minister. And when I go to sleep, my phone is in my office. So don't expect me to reply your phone call when you're calling. So that is a quick one. Other than that, that's it. Now we got a motion to close the meeting, please. Before we go there, Mr. Maraca.
Thanks, Your Worship. I just want to build off of what you said there. So basically, the mayor is always open to getting messenger or phone calls and stuff like that, and he'll always bring them to my office or whatever. So this is not the mayor saying this, it's the CAO saying this, that we're not going to deal with issues that are not first taken care of by the individual's attempts to go through the system and the processes that are there. We need to document, we need to do these things. The mayor's always open to be part of the solution, but there's a lot of money being spent at senior levels of staffing and the mayor that doesn't need there. As the CAO, until I don't care that the garbages weren't picked up that day, until you don't get the right answer from the public works team. So that stops, and the mayor we've had these conversations, and as much as he wants to do it, it's not going to be happening anymore. So don't call him, don't bug him, because as soon as it comes to me, go on.
Yeah, what we are saying is, what she was saying is, if you did not get satisfactory answer or you had some issue, that's a different story. Then we can deal with the SMT level. But first, please go to the web page, call to the city hall, if it's evening or anytime. And there's a web page, you can call anytime. Everybody had a phone number, there's an emergency number. You can call and have a proper documentation. That's the proper way to do it. Thank you. That's what he's saying. Anything else, sir?
No, that's it, Your Worship.
From Mr. Coupe, anything from CFO? Thank you. Keep up the good work. Keep saving me all the money you are. And James, anything from you, sir? Oh, James has never had anything. Okay, motion to close the meeting, staff.
So moved, Your Worship.
Move the motion, moved and seconded. Council Nelson, Council Moses, all in favor? Carried. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Thank you. Won't be more than 1 minute meeting, folks.